Love can be a noun or a verb. In this lesson, Jesus is teaching about the verb love. Roads were dusty and shoes were open, so washing of the feet of a guest was expected in Jesus' day. The host would normally not do the washing because it was regarded as a very demeaning task. Now, let's put this lesson in context. Before this part of the lesson, the disciples had been arguing. So as Jesus kneels, he is demonstrating a love so great that he's willing to do the demeaning task. They are about to eat the Passover feast. Now, this is a solemn occasion in Jewish tradition. Jesus knew his earthly ministry was nearing completion and that he would be returning to the Father in heaven. He knew that everything had been given over to him by the Father, and in essence, he knew that everything was in place and as it should be. Obviously, knowing that this would be one of his last acts of kindness to his disciples, as the evening progressed, Jesus, motivated by his love, arises from the meal, removes his outer garment, wraps a towel around him, grabs a basin of water, and washes and dries the feet of his disciples. Jesus, the teacher, the Messiah, the leader of this group, washes his followers' feet at a time when others would not have been so inclined to do such a demeaning act. During a time when his future was obviously weighing upon him, Jesus turns to serve others, demonstrating a love that serves. This is the Son of God, after all. He could have required men to minister to him, but Jesus humbles himself and washes the feet of his disciples. This was our Lord's way of showing how much he loved them and how much he loves us. When Jesus reaches Peter, Peter does what seems to be the humble thing to do. He declines. He asks Jesus, "Do you think you're going to wash my feet?" But Jesus corrects him. His notion is that leaders are served and not servants. But Jesus shifts the paradigm. Jesus responds to Peter's protest, saying that he knows what he's doing and that this was the right thing to do, but that Peter would understand later. Jesus is urging Peter to trust him and to obey him. Corrected, Peter does not yield respectfully. Jesus says to Peter as he continues to protest, "If I do not wash you, you will not share with me." With that statement, Peter is shocked into reality. Peter was speaking before thinking, and now Peter asks Jesus to wash his whole body then. But Jesus answers, "I only need to wash your feet to cleanse you, and almost all of you are clean," Judas being the exception. To make sure that they understood what he was doing, Jesus tells them the importance of servant leadership and love that serves, saying that the leaders of the Gentiles, those heathens, exercise dominion over them without showing any empathy for the people. And while you refer to me in respectful terms as teacher and rabbi and leader, you should understand that leadership in the Christian context, love in the Christian context, is selfless, sacrificial love and acts of compassion. They would soon understand what he is talking about as he volunteers for the cross. So when Jesus gives a new commandment to love one another as he has loved, he is not speaking of the noun love. He is talking about the verb love. The mark of the Christian ID card, is not the shiny cross around our necks. It is the exhibition of that selfless, sacrificial love for one another. That's the lesson for this week. Have a great week.